Patty and Clara step out of their Jesus Saves bumper stickered car. I know Clara is gentle-souled. She comes often, speaks quietly, always smiles. But she brings a friend this time, and soon I avoid ponytailed Patty. Like her hair pulled so tightly, she has none of that gentleness. In the field, I overhear her railing against the local school board for not allowing prayer in school, and I'm amazed by the sheer hatred in her voice. How can someone like this love my neighbor, I wonder to myself. At checkout time, just the three of us stand in the shed. They place their full buckets of berries on the table between us and say, "The Lord has blessed you with a bountiful crop." Yes, indeed, I agree, and then think, you don't know all the work the Lord required to get that bounty. Patty, sensing an opening, proceeds to ask, "Are you a Christian?" "Of sorts," I reply. "What sort?" She does not hesitate. I move buckets, wonder what Jesus would have said with such an attack, wonder why I can't just walk out the door. But instead I measure my words, more open and liberal than you. That doesn't slow her as the well-oiled lines spill out. Are you saved? Do you know Jesus as your personal friend? Have you gone to the altar to ask for his forgiveness? I say nothing for a long time, and we all wait out the oxygen-depleting silence. I weigh their berries, calculate their totals, and I do not look up, do not make eye contact. I am both amazed at this lady's gall and angry by her crying sanctimony. Clara says nothing, just watches me pour berries while I can feel Patty staring hard into me, waiting. Finally, she asks again, "Do you know Jesus?" I put the last bucket down, look at them both, and say, "I know him well enough." Clara bends to the table to write the check, while Patty invites me to the church, into Jesus' open arms, into the warm world of definite answers. I ignore her and watch Clara's steady hand, the pen writing her name and her slow curving signature. "Thanks for coming." I watch them leave and hold in my disbelief. In college, I studied New Testament Greek, which meant I committed myself to 4 semesters of 8 a.m. classes meeting 4 times a week. When I enrolled, I thought I might follow my previous mentor and become a minister. So the Greek would help me better understand God, Jesus, and the mysterious teachings. But the closed bud of my life burst open in those first years away from home, away from a confined and confining existence that I helped create. I had feared life then, or at least the wild aspects of it, like alcohol and women. College quickly cured this. It helped me overcome the straitjacketing fear. Through those semesters of 2 early classes, I struggled often with waking up and with understanding the New Testament's original tongue. Christ's words didn't always translate as the King James Bible claimed. We bumped against words like erchomai, which means coming or going, or pneuma, which means breath or Spirit of God. One word in this slippery language changed the meaning of the whole sacred passage. As I parsed verb tenses, I also wrestled with creating a fresher identity, a more open idea of who I wanted to be. And retranslating the Bible actually helped. I found what became my favorite passage, Matthew 10:7. Agakan basileia ton ornon. I worked through the translation of "the kingdom of heaven is come." And King James translated the Greek to "the kingdom of heaven is at hand." Either way, my professor loved to challenge us by saying, the kingdom of God is here, now, among us all, not above, not in the heavens. We spent a whole class exploring the ramifications of that one line. And though I had read Matthew often, this was the first time I saw heaven in the palm of my hand. Agakan basileia ton ornon. The kingdom of heaven is among us. I still love this. Love the sound of it on the tongue, how it makes me realize that this tongue is part of the very kingdom that I am in heaven even now, here on this farm that demands so much sweat. That I am in and of the kingdom with every breath, every pneuma. I joke about creating the Garden of Eden with the blueberry field, but God too is a jester, and maybe the joke is on me, and maybe Eden is everywhere. I sweep out the berry hut and work over my conversation with Patty, my answers to her jabs. I know him well enough, I repeat, but not really. No one does, not even those in the fold. I want to be open to this heaven, to the myriad possibilities of teachings of what God might be. To do so means for me to live outside of the strictures of organized religion. I almost smothered in those strictures as a child and cannot imagine going back. But I realize I'm as entrenched in trying to be open-minded as Patty is in being open only to Jesus. I shake out the braided rug. Are you saved? I repeat. From fear of life and death, I hope. I restack the buckets inside the door. Do you know Jesus is your personal friend? Probably not, unless he exists in lives around me, Sarah and our pups, in this field of living plants and all these pickers. And then I take a break and sit on the steps, back against the door jamb, while I look over the field. Have you gone to the altar to ask for his forgiveness? Not sure. I want to believe that there is more than the life of the fallen, that maybe we have the whole story wrong, that maybe every time I kneel to pick a simple blueberry, I am praying for gratitude, for grace, and this is enough. The kingdom of heaven is among us, I say again aloud, and each time I say it, it takes on new meaning and new mystery. 2 hours after Clara and Patty depart, Martha drives up, her straight black hair framing her smiling face. Her bumper sticker reads, "Coexist," and displays all the symbols of various religions. I know her as an outspoken artist and agitator, hard sticking to her liberal beliefs. She is the one school board member that Christians criticize the most. Not only is Martha against prayer in school, she just won re-election even after a controversial battle. She could no longer tolerate the local high school's use of an old mascot, the Indians. "We don't have the Cleveland Jews or the New York Spicks, but we love those Braves and Indians," she remarked to me once. And when she came to have a little power, Martha organized her supporters, put the motion before her fellow board members, and had enough citizens there to complain. And now the cheerleaders all scream, "Go Wildcats," thanks to Martha. I've never discussed religion with Martha, whose name makes me think she had a religious upbringing. I don't even know if she attends a church. I would guess she follows the religion of her art, the spiritual path of creativity, but this is just a guess. When she steps out of her Jeep, I hug her and can't stop laughing. I tell her about Patty and her crassness, and Martha says, "You're kidding, right? I know her all too well, and she drives me nuts." When I assure her that it was indeed one of her loudest opponents, Martha too joins in my laughter. If only Patty had stuck around a little longer, she too would have witnessed the cause of our laughter. Martha's amazing t-shirt. God the Jester. Right? This t-shirt, she found it at Goodwill, she tells me, and she couldn't resist touching it up a bit. In bright red, she painted on the letters ST. Now, instead of the slogan saying "Born Again," that her t-shirt reads "Born Against." God the Jester,